Hi, welcome to UDLCC support. This is MySQL log part 4 video. In this video, we'll talk about binary log. So let's first discuss about binary log in details and then we'll help you understand this practically. Friends, for your information, all our MySQL videos are based on CentOS 7 with MySQL 5.7. So let's start with binary log. Let's discuss it theoretically first, then we will do it practically in the right pane. Okay, so friends, we'll discuss binary log in details with some important points. So the first point is, what is the purpose of binary log? All the database changes such as table creation, operations or changes to table data logs into binary log. So any changes that you made for your database like insert operation, delete operation, update statement, all will be logged to your binary log if it is enabled. So what is the purpose of this binary log? Broadly, there are two purposes. First, to maintain your replication, and second, to recover your database when we do your point in time recovery. So there are some important informations regarding binary log. What are those important informations to keep in mind? The first information, the binary log is not used for statement that do not modify data like select statement. So as we discussed earlier in the first line, that MySQL binary log only maintains all the update statements, whether it is insert, update or delete, anything. It does not log the select statement. The second point is running a server with binary logging enabled makes performance slightly slower. Correct. So whenever you do maintain your binary log, all the statements will go to a file, that is binary log file. So obviously the performance will be slightly slower. What is the third point? The third point is only complete transactions are logged. So in your database activities, there are two kinds of transactions: successful transactions and the failed transactions. So binary log only logs the successful transactions. What is the fourth point? Password. Like when you change any password for any user, this binary log does not maintain password in plain text. This is the fourth important point. So the fifth and important point is the two variables. If you can see the binlog DODB and the binlog ignore DB. So what are these important points, variables? So if you want to ignore some database transactions not to log in binary log, for that you will have to mention the database name in variable binlog ignore DB. So in that case, your server will not log any changes related to that database in binary log. The second one is binlog DODB. If you have some list of databases that you want to log transactions for only those databases, then you can maintain it in variable binlog DODB. In that case, only transactions related to those databases will log into your binary log. The second point is location. What is the location of your binary log? The location of binary log will be whatever written into these variable, this log bin base name variable. We'll see it practically also everything. How to enable it? So to enable, you will have to enable two variables, logbin and the server ID. Okay. So what is the logbin and the server ID? Logbin is the variable. If you maintain it as on, then your bindy log file will be created. If it is off, then bindy log will not be created. What is server ID? Server ID is a variable we maintain while doing your replication. So we'll see in detail about server ID in replication videos also. But for simplicity and to understand how to enable the bindy log, this is important variable and you will have to understand. So bin log bin and the server ID, these are two variables through which you can enable your bindy logging. This is in MySQL 5.7. In earlier versions, only log bin was important to enable your bindy log. So how it maintains numeric extensions. So when your bindy log is enabled, it will generate a file whose extensions will be in numeric value like 0001, and it is auto increment. So it will create a new file every time when these activity happens. Like when you flush your logs, then it will create a new bindy log. When your size is full, I mean the max bin log size for that bindy log is full, that is 1 GB, then also it will create a new file. And when your MySQL bin log can also be larger than max bin log size, in which cases, the cases like the large transactions, because transactions is written to the file in one pieces. Like suppose, even if your file is reached up to 1 GB, it may, you know, increase the 1 GB size, because maybe some transactions are going to log even if the size has been reached 1 GB. So in that case, your bindy log size can be increased, slightly increased after 1 GB also. So in these cases, your bindy log size depends. So there's one more file, that is index file. Index file is maintained in the server to maintain the listing of your bindy log. So whatever bindy log generated by your server, it maintains in a index file. Okay. The size of the bindy log will depend on your MySQL bin log. I'm sorry about that. Max bin log size. What will be the output? The output, whatever written into your MySQL bindy log, will not be in readable format. So to convert it into a readable format, you will have to use a utility, that is MySQL bin log. So how you can do that? You just have to use this utility and the MySQL file, MySQL bin log file, and the file where your content of the bindy log will be redirected. So this is the whole command. So, and we will discuss more about this bindy log utility in database recovery part with point in time recovery. There's some important points also, some more important point. So there's are some bindy log formats. So there are three formats of bindy log: statement, row, and the mixed. We will discuss these 2 points, these two formats, row and mixed format, in later videos, like in replication videos. Okay, but for simplicity to understand the bindy log, I'm just mentioning here that statement based bindy logging. So what is a statement based? As the name suggests, whatever statement you write to your server, okay, by the client, it will log into the same format in your bindy log. So this is a statement based bindy log. Okay, so I hope these theoretical part is good enough to understand. Now let's see it practically, each and every point. So what is the first point? The first point is log bin base name. Let's see this variable log bin base name. What is this? So variables like base name. See, the log bin base name is blank. Why? Because your log bin is not enabled yet. So how we can enable it? We'll have to go to config file, etc my.cnf. This is the default config file. You just have to enable these two variables. Log bin, I have commented it earlier. So these are two variables, log bin and server ID, as we discussed earlier also. So save it in your config file, restart your server. I will restart. Now we can see yes, your login base name is this. You can, if you want to change the path and the file name, you can write here logbin base name, or you can write it there in the CNF file, logbin equal to some file name. Then in place of one, that will be name of the file. So how you can see these bindy logs? Because it is enabled now. How you can see it is enabled, your bindy log is enabled. How you can see? With these command. So variables like log bin, see here your log bin is on, your base name is this, and the index file is this. You can see the earlier it was both were blank, now it is on, and you can mention, you can see the file name. So what will be the file name? The file name, the bindy log file name will be 1, and the extension will be, as we discussed earlier also, the auto increment like 1.0000001, 00002, and so on. But index file will be remains same because it maintains only the bindy log file names. Okay. How you can see those files physically or with the command? You have two options. Like you can see with the system command ls-la in the data directory, you can see, you will find the bindy log. You can see these were the last. These were the earlier files when it was enabled sometimes back. This is the current one. Okay. So you can see the file name is same, but the extensions are changing. Why? Because it is the behavior of binary log format. So every time when you restart your server, when you fire the command flush logs, or it reached up to 1 GB, then it will create a new file and the extension will be auto increment. Like next time it will generate 1.00009. Okay. So now you can see the index file also. All these files you can see in that index file. Cat where lib MySQL index. Now you can see here, you can see the index file. Now, what is the size of, how you can see the maximum size of, so variables like log bin, sorry about that, it will be bin log. So the size, maximum size of any binary log will be 1 GB. If you want to decrease or increase the size of this, you can do it with this max bin log size variable. You can maintain it in your configuration file. But keep in mind, this cannot be, too large or too small. I mean to say 1 GB is sufficient in any cases. Okay. So this was our max bin log size. So whenever this size reached, it will generate a new file. Okay. It can be more, it can be more than 1 GB also, because we discussed about this in this section. Depends numeric extension to the binary log base name to generate. The number increases each time the server creates new log size, creating an order series of files. The server creates new file. Okay. Now see here, binary log file may become larger than max bin log size if you are using larger transactions. If your transaction is larger and your bin log size reached up to 1 GB, so in that cases, it may be slighter more than the 1 GB. Okay. We discussed about index file. Now to see the binary log output, I will have to do transactions so that it logs into your binary log. What is the binary log? This. So one more point. This is the system command through which you can see the binary logs. There MySQL commands also. So binary logs. You can find all the binary logs and the sizes. You can see here. Okay. So what is our current binary log? This is the last one always. 1.000008. Okay. Now we'll do some transaction and then we will see in a binary log after converting with the help of MySQL bin log utility. do some transaction. Like I have one table, test table. In that I will insert. Let me recall that. Insert, or let's do it now. DSC test. I have one table. I will insert one value, insert into test values, like ID suppose 300, name suppose Peter, and age suppose 34. Transaction is successful. Then if it is successful, then it should go to your binary log. Now let's see how we can see the binary log output. We cannot see binary log output because it is not in readable format. So you will have to convert this into a different format with the help of this utility. You can also see now the size of this bind log, the last one should be increased. Earlier it was 154 byte. Now you can see, yes, you can see 454 byte. That means it is written to your binary log, correct? Okay, now let's convert it. For simplicity, I will copy this file, binary log file, to some other location. OPT. Now I will convert it with the help of MySQL bin log opt, then file name, okay, and then we can redirect on a file. Like, to understand it better, I can write it 1_00008 dot like SQL. Okay, so now you can now this file is in readable format. We can see, if you see this file, you should find the insert into command. This is change command, which is written to your binary log. Now I have converted this binary log into a readable format with this utility. Let's see that. There's some other informations also. We'll discuss on all these informations in point in time recovery video. Yes, you can see here the changes are made to your binary log. This is the changes. Any changes, for this time it is insert. Any changes like update, insert, delete, whatever changes made to your database, it will log into your binary log. Now it is clear. Okay, now how we can maintain the binary log, because binary log, you know, consume disk spaces. So you have to play very smartly to keep your disk spaces free of these kind of log files. Okay, so the smart way to delete or remove these log files is to use purge command. You can directly delete these binary log files, but it is not recommended. When you delete it, it will not delete in from your index file. It will simply physically delete if you do it by system command. Okay, so better to use purge command. So if you have these many files, okay, so you can use to remove those files purge binary logs 2008 in single quotes. What it will do, it will delete all the files before 008. So the last file will be there, but all these files before that, it will be removed from your server. Let's see. Yes, it is removed. You can see the binary logs command now to see which binary logs are there now. Only one, it is last one. So it will delete the previous, all the previous, whatever you write. If you write here 6, then it will delete only 5. Okay. Now see the index also. What was the index file name? Yes. So if you delete, remove by this purge command, it will maintain a index file accordingly. It will delete from index file also automatically, but you remove it from your data directory by system command, it will not delete from your index file. Okay, so these are some important points about binary logs. One more important point, that is when you want to expire these logs by some days, if you want to keep these binary log files like for last 2 days, last 3 days, you can keep it. And for that, you will have to see one variable. So variables like expire, yes. So log days, expired log days, 0. This is default, means it will not delete any of the file. It will keep it for unlimited days. So if you want to keep the binary log files for only 3 days, then you can maintain it expired log days 3. Then it will keep only 3 days log files. Keep in mind that 3 days log files, that means it may keep fourth day file also, last fourth day file also, because it depends on transactions. Okay. So I hope everything is clear now about your binary logs. So if you have any doubt, any clarification, any discussion you want to do on these logs and binary log, you can write it on this mail ID. You can chat me or you can WhatsApp me on this number. I'll happy to help you out. I think you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for enjoying this video. We'll discuss some more log files in other videos like DDL log we'll have to see. So this DDL log we'll discuss in next video. So thank you for enjoying this video. See you next time. Bye bye.